Hi folks, the video I did a couple of weeks ago on cleaning a bolt-action rifle got some pretty good comments and some good questions. So along those same lines, I thought I would do another video today on rifle maintenance. This one is going to be on the AR style rifles. I'm going to be using today my Rock River Arms LAR-15 National Match Rifle. I use this rifle in competition and it definitely does need to be cleaned. This rifle total has had just over 2,800 rounds through it as of yesterday, and I put about a little over 100 rounds through, yes, about 110 rounds. So I'm going to be cleaning this today. This, by the way, is not going to be a beginner level video. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the nomenclature of the AR-15. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the way it functions. I'm going to assume if you're watching this video that you have an AR style rifle and you have good knowledge of how it works, and now you're looking at what you need to do to maintain it. Also, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on barrel maintenance with this because my barrel cleaning procedure for the AR style rifles is exactly the same as it is for my bolt action rifles. So if you don't have that information and you want to see what my technique is for that, by all means go back and watch the bolt action cleaning video, and you'll be able to see what I do to clean my barrels. I am going to spend some time on the bolt, a little bit of time on disassembly of the firearm, or at least disassembly to the point where you can conduct routine maintenance. Again, it's not going to be a detailed strip. I'm not going to take it down to every spring, detent, and pin in the rifle. This is going to be basic field stripping and maintenance. I'm also, part of the reason I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the functioning of this rifle is I don't want to have to worry that some nut job out there is going to learn how an AR operates from watching my video and then go out and shoot up a school or something like that. So there's multiple reasons. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on some of the things. But as far as the cleaning goes and the maintenance, I am going to spend some time on that. So to begin with, just like with any firearm, what we're going to do is make sure it's unloaded. And I do have an empty chamber indicator in my rifle here, so I'm reasonably sure that there's nothing in there, but still, we're going to visually check the chamber and the magazine well to make sure we have an unloaded firearm. Next, since this is an AR style rifle, I'm going to open it up shotgun style by removing the rear takedown pin. And if you're not familiar with that, it's this piece right here. Now before I do that, I'm going to close the bolt and push the pin through and pull it out on this side. This will allow the rifle to open in what is generically called shotgun style or shotgun fashion. So once I've accomplished that, I'm going to put it back down in the rack. I'm also going to use a tool that makes this job a little bit simpler. I got this from Brownells or Midway, I don't remember which one, but basically what it does is your rear takedown pin passes through here, and this stud fits in the hole in your upper receiver that the pin normally would go through. So when I take my rifle, the stud goes right here, and now I can close the rifle to this point and push the pin through, which will keep the rifle stable while I'm working on it. Now it's going to stay in just that position right there. Again, these things aren't terribly expensive, but they are quite helpful. So now I've got it clamped back in the rack. At this point, I'm going to remove the bolt, the bolt carrier group. I would have just got in trouble if I was still in the Marine Corps for calling this assembly a bolt. And I'm going to put it off to the side for the moment. And I'm also going to remove the charging handle. This is as far as I need to take the basic rifle down in order to do cleaning of the barrel. And somewhere here close by, I have got my bore guide. Just like with the bolt action rifle, you want to use a bore guide or a cleaning rod guide, whatever you want to call it, when you're cleaning your barrel. I'm going to insert this in the back. This is just like the bolt action style. It has a gasket here to prevent any of the cleaning fluid or solvent from working its way back into the action, so it makes a nice tight fit inside the barrel. It's also got a portion back here that fits into the upper receiver and keeps the bore guide from moving around. I'm just going to push it right in there like that. And if you watched my bolt action cleaning video, you know that at this point I'm going to start to run wet patches through, 3 wet patches, 10 passes with the cleaning brush, 3 wet patches, 10 passes with the cleaning brush. Just like with that one, you only go from the breech to the muzzle. I never run anything backwards through the barrel. Also, just to emphasize the importance of the rod guide for these rifles, you want to make sure you're using a rod guide, because this is a greater distance before you get your cleaning rod or brush or jag, whichever you're using, from the very back of the upper receiver all the way up to the point where it's traveling through the rifled portion of the barrel. And there's that much more distance for you to misalign that rod and potentially cause some damage to the lead portion of your barrel. So again, definitely make sure you use a proper bore guide for cleaning your barrel. Okay, even though I'm not going to mention or discuss cleaning the barrel specifically, I do want to talk for just a couple of minutes about cleaning the barrel extension. The barrel extension is the place where the recessed area at the back of the barrel where the bolt locks into place when the action closes. It does need to be cleaned from time to time. There are a couple of very simple tools that are used to clean it. One of them is a chamber brush. Looks just like this. And this, as you put it into the chamber, the forward portion, you can twist it. It'll clean the chamber, and it'll also clean that barrel extension area right behind it. Since this is a match barrel, I baby it. I don't use the standard kind. This would be the kind you would use with your standard mil-spec AR, particularly with a chrome line barrel and chamber. I use a nylon one. Same exact thing, only made out of nylon. When you use this, you simply insert it into the chamber and twist it to loosen up and remove anything that might be stuck in there. When you're done with that, you can remove it. The next thing I'm going to use is a specially designed chamber mop. This is shaped just like the brush, only it's made out of soft cotton. So everything that we just loosened up with the chamber brush, I'm now going to remove with the chamber mop. And it's really just that simple. At this point, your chamber is nice and clean. You shouldn't have any issues as far as extraction or feeding that have something to do with a dirty chamber. Now, if it's a damaged chamber or some other problem, then obviously this won't correct it. But as far as being clean, that's really all it takes. As I said before, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but I did want to at least touch on it. I am going to talk a little bit more about the bolt itself, or the bolt carrier group. In order to disassemble a bolt carrier group, the first thing you need to do is remove the small cotter pin right there from the side. Once I do that, the firing pin is free to fall out of the bottom of the bolt carrier. I can now lay that down. At this point, you want to make sure the bolt is in the closed position, so the cam pin is toward the rear portion of the cutout, right here. If it's toward the front, try to hold it so you can see it, up here, it's not going to come out as well, or it's not going to come out at all, really. You have to have it back there. You'll then rotate this 90 degrees, just like that, and then this will lift up out of that slot. And you can put it down. That will free the bolt from the carrier, and you can pull it forward out of the bolt carrier. And you can see I've got a little bit of carbon buildup on the back of the bolt, on the tail of the bolt. But otherwise, even with 100 rounds through, it's not that bad. Also have a little bit, don't know if you can see it, down inside the bolt carrier, and we'll clean that out here in a couple of minutes.